Yeah. It is. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you can open up the phone.
All right, Shalom. First off, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM,
and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. All right, back at it again, with another live stream, to the title, this is only for the Israelites. The word that is engrafted in us, this is for the Israelites, not for everybody. People that might come up and, ask, we had that recently. I don't think y'all was up there yet. She asked, well, can everybody come in? That really shouldn't be a question though. Because not everybody can, come in. Right?
And Shalom to brothers and sisters.
Right, Shalom.
Yeah, Shalom.
I'll start off with Matthew 10 and 5. Yep, these 12 YAHAWASHI sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans, enter you not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Right, so they're talking about the house of Israel, the 12 tribes of Jacob.
And the lost sheep would be the elect.
Right.
That's why he didn't say just go to the sheep.
Right.
Or all of Israel. He said go to the lost sheep of the house. Yeah.
And that's our job, to search out, the lost sheep.
Yeah.
Y'all got anything?
Okay, yeah, I got one here. Isaiah chapter 44, verse 1. It says, yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. All right. Where did everybody else come in, man? All right. Like the brother was explaining, this is only for Israel. Not nobody else can be grafted in, man. We've broken this down time and time again, man. And if you still can't get that by the time YAHAWASHI returns, you're just going to be burnt up with everybody else. What did Jeremiah the 6th chapter say? You're going to fall among them that fall. All right. Though hand joined in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. All right. Not everybody can be grafted in, man. This is only for Israel, and this is what this live stream is proving. All right. Throughout the Bible, it talks about Israelites. All right. And salvation for Israel. Look what it just now said. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Thus saith the Lord that made thee and formed thee formed thee from the womb. All right, which will help thee. All right, fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou what's that? Jesurim, all right, whom I have chosen. All right, Israelites. All throughout the Bible. While I'm here, going over a page while I'm here, Isaiah chapter 45, verse 17. It says, but Israel shall be saved in the Lord, all right, with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. All right. It says, for thus saith the Lord that created the heavens, Most High himself that formed the earth and made it. All right. He hath established it, he created it, not in vain. All right. He formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord. All right. YAHAWASHI. It says, and there is none else. All right. I have not spoken in secret in a dark place of the earth. I said not unto the seed of Jacob, seek ye me in vain. I, the Lord, speak righteousness. All right. I declare things that are right. Where did everybody else come in, man? All right. Where did everybody else come in? All throughout the Bible. Jacob, Israel, all throughout the Bible, man. All right. Since the very beginning of time. And I'm going to get that in a second. Since the very beginning of time, he had a chosen. See, people will be like, well, damn, don't that seem like kind of harsh to have a favorite? The Lord can do whatever the hell he wanted. You have a favorite food. You have a favorite movie. So why can't he have a favorite people?
You might have a friend that's your favorite.
Exactly. You know?
Show that in Leviticus 20:26. That's why you get what you get.
Yeah.
Because the Lord is, we can even get 2 Ezra 6.
I'm getting ready to get that. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, yeah. You said 6? Okay, yeah. No.
Now, and then we're going to go into the New Testament as well
Mhm.
to debunk Christianity. You know, a lot of the New Testament was filtered through universalism as well, which goes back to universal religion. And this is why they placed words like Gentile and all men. This is why they placed that in there.
Yeah.
A lot of those was the Latin influence, the Latin Vulgate, and they had different Vulgates that you also had the Septuagint, right? So you had different influences in the Bible. And this is why gentilius or gentium is the word which meant foreigner. So gentilius or gentium means foreigner or stranger. But we also show you in the scriptures, Lord, when we get to it, that strangers can be Israelites. That's just the English language.
Yeah.
A word that means something spelled the same but has a total different meaning or opposite effect.
Right.
Okay. Go ahead, read what you got.
This is Leviticus 20. You want to start at 25?
You can go ahead. There it goes.
Oh,
Yeah. We sitting down now, so we can get more to meat of it. On the hedges, we just kind of go to the point. Go ahead.
This is Leviticus 20 and 25. It says, "Ye shall therefore put difference between clean beasts and unclean, and between unclean fowls and clean. And ye shall not make your souls abominable by beasts or by fowl."
See, now you had the heathens. They was practicing other. It's crazy because people can't believe the Most High created heathen people to practice heathenistic customs outside of righteous people practicing righteous customs. That's what it is. You have Thanksgiving. Nothing wrong with Thanksgiving, but it is something wrong when you turn a murderous, killing, slaughtering holiday. It's not a holy day,
Right.
you know, which goes back to the holly branch or Satan worship. Go ahead.
Right, and they don't even know what the hell they're giving thanks to.
Nope. I'm giving thanks for my family and us loved ones, and then adultery and theft.
Yeah.
Every time they have those Thanksgiving dinners, there's some drunken adultery or theft or talking trash on someone. And then they wait till Sunday, and then they cleanse that sickness, and then Monday they back to the drawing board.
Being an idiot.
Yep. Go ahead.
Or by any manner of living thing that creepeth on the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean. Right now, it sounds like he's setting a lot of, differences. Right. So where does it say all love and everybody's one? Come as you are. Right. It says, "And ye shall be holy unto me, for I am the Lord and holy. And I have severed you from other people, that ye shall be mine." Right now, that sounds like a favoritism right there.
It does. It is.
It is. It says, "A man also for a woman." So like a man also or a woman that hath a familiar spirit, or that is a wizard, shall surely be put to death. They shall stone them with stones, their blood shall be upon them. Right. So this is complete separation. The times of segregation, it's separating, severed. And that's what's needed. It's just natural. But no, they can't have that. Right? So the same thing with these genders, they just can't go with anything natural. But yet the next day they want some plant-based foods.
Right.
That was pretty much it.
Read that last part again.
It says, "A man also."
The next one, 26.
26. It says, "And ye shall be holy unto me."
Holy means separate, set apart.
Right. "For I, the Lord, am holy. and have severed you from other people, that ye shall be mine.
Yeah, that's, when he say you be mine, meaning, basically separate. It's a separation,
Right.
Meaning plurally, mine, only me. That's just a clear scripture, which is Deuteronomy 7:6 as well.
Yeah, I just got that right now.
Mhm.
This is Deuteronomy 7:6. But thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, right? Unto himself,
Same thing.
above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Right? That's select one nation out of everybody. Chose one. Are you going to hate God for doing that? Why wouldn't we serve a God like that? Why wouldn't we?
Yeah. Well, we're in a society, you got to remember all your life, the people that catch so much hate will want to see love.
Yep.
And that's what happens. We caught so much hate. We can't get along with one another. We've always learned to try to love somewhere or find love so that at least God loves us. And as long as you're thinking that way, you'll never think that God can hate anybody.
Right.
He'll just love you because whatever troubles hit me, God always loved me. And remember in Hosea when he said, I will not punish your daughters.
Yeah. Hosea 4. Yep.
I remember that. He said, I will not punish your daughters.
Yep. He sure did. I get that in a second. Because that's just what it is, man. Why is he not going to, do that? Because you have 2/3. Like you said, there's a separation, right? So the Lord chastised whom he loved. So ultimately, the missiles is going to be the ultimate chastisement, man. All right, for our people. All right, for this earth world. Okay. I got that second Ezra 6.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I'm gonna go to the beginning because that has everything to do with 54, what you wanted, right? The first couple chapters. First couple verses. Second Ezra chapter 6. All right, verse 1, and this is going into the separation. All right, it says, and he said unto me in the beginning, when the earth was made. All right, very important. When the earth was made in the beginning. All right, it says, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew, before it thundered and lightened, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers, all right, were established, before the innumerable, all right, multitude of angels were gathered together, all right, or ever the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys in Sion, all right, were hot, and or era is a time period. All right, the present years were sought out today. All right, and it says, and ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned before they were sealed. All right, that have gathered faith for a treasure. Let's talk about the elect, man. All right. It says, then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone. All right. It says, and through none other. This is the Lord bragging again, man. It says, by me also they shall be ended. All right. It says, and by none other. The Lord is seriously bragging. He brags about his power all throughout the Bible, man. All right. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Now remember these first couple verses. It was talking about before anything was ever created, right? Before anything was created. Okay. It says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born. It says, of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. That's very symbolic, right? It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. All right. It says, the hand of man is betwixt the heel, and the hand. It says other questions Ezra asked, all right, thou not. Okay, so again, it says before any of this was created, it was already sealed. All right, it was already sealed. That now going into your the one you wanted, because that has everything to do with 54, right? That's why I wanted to get that. It says, and after these, Adam also, whom now, did I say verse 54 already? Just making sure.
Oh,
okay. Well, yeah, this is verse 54, jumping. It says, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, all right? Of him come we all right? Creature, creation, right? It says, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Meaning the Most High created everything and all things.
Yep.
Including the camera we're looking through.
Yep. And that's why earlier it said through him and him alone is the start of everything and the end.
That's why he's bragging. Like, who's going to stop him though?
Yep. There was a did you want to continue on that?
Oh no, you was just 54?
Yeah, that was 54.
Read that part again. Yeah.
Okay, all right. It says, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All right, the people whom thou hast chosen. All right, it said a people, meaning, you know, when you're talking about a people, you know, you're talking about a seed line. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're talking about something physical. Okay. That's why when you talk about nations or a nation of Israel, you're talking about seed line. You know, there's no spiritual Edomite all of a sudden becoming an Israelite. That's not what it is. You know, once you're in that nation, you're in that nation. You're talking about a seed line, man. All right. A spiritual Israelite is an Israelite that's already an Israelite. It's spiritual and it's true. All right. You can't switch your nations, man. Can't happen.
Once the Edomite asks that means he's scared. You know, they trying to escape, you know, that fate.
Yep. There was another one that's a straight up precept to that, and I can't remember where it is. I'm not even going to try to wing it. I'll just look it up.
But yeah, keep going.
Keep going. All right, this verse 55. It says, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. All right. As for the other people, it says, which also came of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing. All right. But be like unto spittle. You know what spittle is? It says, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. All right. So that's like you sweating, right? You know, there's a drop that falls from the vessel. You sweating, it should fall on the ground. It's whatever. You ain't worried about that. Whatever. But a little drop, you got a cup of water. So a drop falls out. You ain't worried about it. Fuck it. It'll dry on just, you know, especially you outside. Fuck it. Don't matter.
Yeah, like when you got a car, you back up.
Yeah.
And you say, hey man, I think I got an oil leak. And you back up and you see a tiny drop, you don't consider
Yeah,
that.
it's like
That could be somebody else, and I don't think they in my car. It could be a little water.
Yep. You know,
You don't consider it.
Yep. So that's how the Lord is looking at these other nations. They're like side characters in the main story. You know what I'm saying? Jacob and Esau is the main ones, but then you got side characters. You know.
That's also in Isaiah.
What's that?
That scripture.
So you talking about this one?
Yeah, the drop that falls from a vessel.
Yeah.
That's in Isaiah as well.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find it.
Okay.
It actually precepts. It actually precepts that.
Okay. Wing that one. Try to look for that other one. You know, but that's how the Lord looks at these other nations, man. They're like nothing. So, you know, this is why we always say this word is not for the faint-hearted. All right, and there's a scripture in there that says, "Woe to the faint-hearted." I just read it the other day. You know, they said, "Woe to the faint-hearted," because that's not what this not what this is for. If you faint-hearted, then you're gonna lose it. It's too much for you, right? You know what I'm saying? So
let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Isaiah 40. This is what we just read in 65. So people say the Apocrypha isn't real. It says here, Isaiah 40 and 15. Says, "Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket,
damn,
and are counted as a small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing." That's probably precept right there.
that's a straight up precept today. Yep, that's definitely a straight up precept to that.
And we got let me see here. You got Deuteronomy 7. We read that, right?
Yeah.
When it said holy people. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, here we go. Titus 2 and 13. It says, "Looking for that blessed hope and glorious appearing of the great power in our Savior YAHAWASHI, who gave himself for us, that he might redeem us from all iniquity." Here we go. "And purify unto himself a peculiar people."
Yep.
That's what we just read in Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
That's exactly what we read.
"Zealous of good works." So anybody who trying to say, well, the New Testament came along, God just changed.
Yeah.
Like Malachi 3 and 6.
Right.
He changed, you know.
Yeah.
And he didn't change, and he decided, well, you know what? You little Moab, you can come in too. You little Edomite, it's your turn as well. We're the only people that can get stomped and crushed and abused. Even with this thing with Kyrie, they're making him say things in order to play because of what they so-called went through. Meanwhile, this same man and his history went through way more traumatic experience. Yep. And still under the foot of those who claim that they suffered. What kind of crap is that?
Yep.
Anyway, go ahead.
Did you have something to go?
Actually, yeah, I do. This is Malachi 1 and 1. Well, this is the last book of the Old Testament.
Yep.
It says, "The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord. Yet I loved Jacob and hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness." Right? So it just said it. The Lord loved Jacob and hated Esau. You know, you'll have a favorite food. You know, you like that food, but then you got food that you just absolutely hate. Right? But then people will try to say, well, I don't hate it. I just don't like it. Well, you hate it.
Yeah, but, you know, at the end of the day, was it Esau's fault? I mean, as himself in that lifetime?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Nope.
Was it Jacob was just himself? He was just meant to be blessed. We can prove that in Romans 9 and 11. You can get that real quick as well.
Right. The Lord does everything. What are you going to do to stop him, though? You know, who's going to stop him? Nobody. Guarantee that.
Nope. Yep. I found what I was looking for. It was. I thought it was in the beginning of the chapter. It was actually in the middle.
Okay.
Somewhat after. Where does this start at? Where does it start at? I'm gonna start at verse 23. Okay, this is second Ezra chapter 5. All right. That's where I thought it was in the beginning. Verse 23. It says, "And say, O Lord, all right, that bears rule of every wood of the earth, all right, it says, and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee only one vine. Remember, a lot of times when it talks about trees and wood, it's talking about people. That's going to break that down more in itself, all right, later on. It says, and of all lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit, all right, mind you. He's saying only one of everything, it sounds like, right? It says, and of all the flowers thereof, one lily, all right? And of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river, all right? And it says, and of all the builded cities, all right, thou hast hallowed Sion unto thyself, only one. It says, and of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove, and of all, the Lord has favorites, man. It says, and of all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided thee one sheep. Here's where it's pretty much self-explanatory now. And among all the multitudes of peoples, all right, thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all right. And now, O Lord, why hast thou given this one people over unto many, and upon the one group hast thou prepared others? It says, and why hast thou scattered thy only one people among many? All right. It says, and they which did gainsay thy promises and believe not thy covenants have trodden them down. Okay, I believe that's it. That's a bit long. I'm not gonna go into all that, but that's the main point. Here we go, verse 33. It says, and I said, speak on, O my Lord, speak on, my Lord. Then said he unto me, thou art sore troubled in mind for Israel's sake. All right, lovest thou that people better than he that made them. All right, so that's going into something else. But the main point started at verse 23. He only had one people that he loved. Is one everything, and that's what he was breaking down. All right,
one that he loved, one that he hated.
Yeah. all of this is pretty good, but I'm not gonna go into all that's a bit long.
Yep. This is Romans 9 and 11. But the children being not yet born, neither have it done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yahawah according to the election might stand, out of works, but of him that calleth. Right, so it was already set, before they was even born. Right, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Right, so the Lord loved, Jacob, and hated Esau. It's one and one always.
Yeah, don't get mad because that's what the Lord wants. Get Amos 3 and 1.
Yeah. While you get that, Romans 11, verse 26, it says, and so all Israel, yep, yeah, that's right. It says, and so all Israel shall be saved, right?
As it is what?
As it is written.
That's
it. It ain't what we said. It's what the Lord said. But through the Spirit of Yahawah to the outside, that's what it is. It's like that is what we say, but through the Lord, it's written.
You expect, the Lord to come back. Wait a minute, I gotta republish the version.
Yeah. I mean, if it was Edomites being saved, I mean, hell, it would be Edomites probably saying the same thing.
Well, they were.
Yeah. Well, come on.
They were. When they got the Bible back a couple hundred years back.
Yep.
They were saying that they were the chosen.
Yep.
We were the slaves.
Yep.
So yeah, they were doing that.
They were doing that. So, nobody talks about that. But all of us, I mean, look what they got us celebrating. Thanksgiving. Thank you for slaughtering our people. is pretty much what you're saying. You're offering incense to Baal, right? Or Baal, or whatever y'all call them, man. All right.
Right. That's what they was doing back then. You know, Spain, you know, the Spanish, you know, bringing around the Christianized Bible. You know, they had cages that were out.
Yep. Yeah, they took the Old Testament out, and then they took some of the New Testament, and then they kept the scriptures that, you know, appeased them for slavery.
Right.
That made it work for them.
Right.
So Jeremiah 17:4 says we were discontinued from our heritage. And we did. When Most High said he's going to punish us, he punishes. But guess what, brothers and some of you sisters? His time is up. And we are now coming into the power. It's the greatest thing now to be an Israelite. There's no way, if you try to give me all the riches of the world right now, I would, man, my mindset is the kingdom, because that money is about to crash, man.
That money is garbage. There's nothing durable about that.
Yep.
Yep. This is Amos 3:1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Right? Out of all the families of the earth. You know, that's one out of
47:19.
one out of I don't know how many. Right? It's therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
That's right. Let me get this. Jeremiah 13:11. It says, for as the girdle cleaveth to a lion of a man, so like for as the girdle cleaveth to the loins of a man, right?
Yep.
So as a girdle,
cleave
to the loins of you, as a man. Yep. So have I caused to cleave unto me the whole house of Israel and the house of Judah, saith the Lord, that they might be unto me for a people, and for a name, and for a praise, and for a glory, but they will not hear. I mean, can you get any more clearer than that?
I got one here. Oh, they have it out.
No, that's it. I got more, but
Okay, no, you go ahead. I'm just kind of cool. Yeah,
okay. Now you can see Paul read this in this Exodus 19:6. Let me see here. Paul read this same thing in 1 Peter. Let me get that now. Anyway, 1 Peter 2:9. I'm going in the New Testament because they be like, "Oh, the God of the Old." But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for God's Yahawah's own possession, to proclaim the virtues of Him who called you out of darkness into His marvelous light. Right? So what he was quoting is Exodus 19:6, where it says, and ye shall be holy unto me, a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. This is what we just saw in 1 Peter 2:5.
Yep.
These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. So you go ahead. So then we're going to switch gears and go into Gentiles and strangers and dangers and everything else.
Okay. Yep. All right. This is
Or we could just go. We go in the spirit.
Yeah, it's all good. Let me see here. This is not. Yeah, this ain't new. Okay, let me go back. What's in this? This is the book of Psalm, chapter 14, verse. Actually, let me get the one you called out first. Psalm chapter 147 and 19. It says, and he shewed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Self-explanatory. You can't get no plainer than that, man. Psalm chapter 14, verse 7.
You gotta keep reading it. Finish that off.
No, okay, no, it's like it. Verse 20, it says, he have not dealt so, okay, yeah, it's like it. He have not dealt so with any nation.
That's right.
It says, and as for his judgments, they have not known them.
Right.
Praise ye the Lord, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Right? No other nation knows that. The only ones that can worship the Lord is the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American. Israelites. All right? Israelites. If, Psalm chapter 114, Psalm chapter 14, verse 7. It says, oh, that the salvation of Israel will come out of Zion. When the Lord bringeth back the captivity of his people, Jacob shall rejoice. All right, and Israel shall be glad. I went into cursing, profanity, and stuff like that because you seem like people got a problem with that. You know, when it's abusive, when it's used abusively, yes. You talk about when it comes with the fuck shit and all that stuff. But you want to know what's profane? You know, we mentioned it, and it stains out. One thing that's profane, first off, that you Christians like doing is, first off, saying that all nations could be saved. That's profanity. All right. Another thing that's profane is that's the God of the Old Testament. That bullshit is profanity, man. That's what that is, man. All right. That's what you call profanity. Oh, we under grace. That's damn sure profanity.
Yep.
All right.
Edom can make it.
Edom can make it. All of you Christians, man, y'all see, that's every last one of y'all hypocrites. Y'all use a profanity, holding the Bible,
But they committing adultery.
right? Exactly. That's profanity. Saying that you don't gotta worry about the law. You under grace. Don't worry about it. See, I know eating pork is bad, but I'm going to do it anyway because we under grace. That's profanity, man. Christianity, plantationism, that is profanity, man. That's a profane thing unto the Lord, man. Right?
Esau himself is profane.
Right.
That's any man, was it Hebrews 12:16?
Oh.
17? That's any profane person is Esau, for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
Right.
So you would have to understand profanity is filtered through this man.
Right.
And into us,
Right.
our people.
Right.
You know?
This land is profane.
Everything about this place is
blood,
yep.
and blood, sweat, and tears.
Yep.
Yeah,
All
get that.
Israelites.
Let's show that. Numbers 35 and 33.
Yeah, which is
That's where it goes. Cause it just stood out. So, you know, when you tell us that, it's like, well, yeah, we hold the Bible, but do you read the Bible? So you're telling me that you're eating pork, right? And you're holding the Bible. You're using profanity holding the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Right? You looking at you sitting in the church, you looking at another man's wife, right? Or you're a woman and you got a husband and you looking at the preacher up there and you holding the Bible. You know that's profanity.
Yeah,
you're holding the Bible.
Yeah, profane means outside of the temple.
Outside of the temple. That's profanity, man. You know, so you went to cursing and profanity and stuff like that, kind of broke that down a little bit, like earlier this week.
But we try not to go out for the lexate that might be in the world that doesn't know the truth yet. We gotta we tone it down a little bit when it comes to that.
Yeah, I myself had redone videos. I mentioned that on the video I actually did on that.
Right.
I myself had to redo videos because I noticed myself that, okay, that's a little much. Let me redo it, clean it up a little bit because that might be offensive to somebody. Don't know. You know, besides I try to do it less anyway. You know, if I'm talking to somebody in the world, I don't care. You know.
35.
But you know, we are professionals. You know,
Our profession, yeah.
this is our profession. This is what we do. You know, this is why, you know, we're not, you know, through the spirit of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, you're not going to get compelled. You know, right? And if so, let's say it does happen, you're going to come back out stronger because you learned from it.
Hey, we got the 100% truth.
No doubt.
Go ahead.
This is Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood is defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
Yep. Go to 32. Jump off a couple.
32.
Yeah.
It says, and ye shall take no satisfaction for him that is fled to the city of his refuge, that he should come again to dwell in the land until the death of the priest.
Go ahead.
33.
Mm-hmm.
So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood is defileth the land.
Yeah, so you blood to these demons, Idumeans, Amaleks, Amalekians. They've defiled the land with blood. When Christopher Columbus, Cristobal Colon, or Christos or Christopher Colombo, right? They deceived the people that was already in those lands in South America. And then they went back, and the men that was with Cristoforo Colombo, or Cristobal Colon, however you want to call them, they raped the women there. They let their armed guards down and trusted them and raped them. So they retaliated. Somebody raped your wife, you going to kill them.
Yes.
So they retaliated and killing them men. Then he comes back, and now it's an all-out siege.
Yep.
All because they're allowed to, no matter where they go, to rape, rob, and murder. So what kind of promotion is that? They talk about Kyrie Irving, right? You know, Amazon has this book about Christopher Colombo for children. They got a children's book, a children's edition. They even have a holy day behind that, a holiday.
Mm-hmm. Columbus Day was that.
Columbus Day. Yeah. And we know who Columbus was. He was actually a convert to Judaism. Right? Think about that. They set him up to go, you know, and some of Jake was in power at that time. And he went around and was a bad boy. And then now they're teaching this to our children. If I was Kyrie, I'd be like, well, what about Christopher Columbus? You're promoting the hate, and you even have a holiday for him.
Yeah. And all he did was kill and rape and shit, man.
Yep.
That's all he ever did.
Yep.
A lot of them statues y'all got down there, you know, even just in Maryland alone, a lot of them were slave owners, man. You know, a lot of them did some messed up shit.
Everything on the foundation of this place was built on bloodshed. Read 33 again.
Yep, it's verse 33. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood is defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
So they basically, our people was responsible for shedding the blood of YAHAWASHI, right? And that's why 2/3 of our people blood gotta be, it's gotta be cleansed. So our people will die right over here with the rest of Edo and, you know, other nations, you know, and other people, because this place cannot be cleansed but by the blood of them that shed it, right? And even on our holy land, that's got to be cleansed too, because what did you do? You shed innocent blood. Our people help the responsibility of shedding innocent blood. YAHAWASHI didn't do anything wrong. Why did they shed his blood?
Right.
So it makes sense that 2/3 of you people, you Negroes, and 2/3 of you Eves, you women, so-called black, is a part of Edom on this side. And that's the only way out for you is through judgment. You are no good. You love wickedness.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Precept to precepts and numbers is Genesis 9 and 6. Right?
Yep.
It says, "Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. But in the image of Yahawah made he man." Right? Everything, everything has a solution to it. You're cleaning something, you gotta use some crazy chemicals now. And that's what has to happen to this place. Because this place is just defiled. It is the definition of defiled.
Yeah, I never seen it this bad. I've been on this earth a little while now. I never seen it this bad, man.
Only solution is to just destroy it all. It has to go.
Yep, that's it. You can't. There's no coming back from what you see out here today. There's no coming back from this at all. It is terrible, man. It is absolutely terrible. You could just get in your car and go hit the road, and you could tell how bad this place is just by people driving. Just by that. That's just one thing alone. Right? It's bad. And there's like the brother was going into, there's no coming back.
Right. Revelation 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword shall be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Right.
Which we know the saints are the Israelites.
Right.
So what is our title again? Salvation is only for Israel. Read Galatians 3:28.
This is a scripture that the Christians like to pour out.
Yep.
Galatians 3:28. Because kind of want to go there because of,
yeah, to break it down,
yeah.
The Christians, they like bringing out the stranger, the Gentile, and stuff like that.
Yep. Let's get out the pins and pads. Now it's time for class. Hold 1 Corinthians 12:1. And you might have some other ones somewhere.
Go to 3:28.
3:28.
This is Galatians 3:28. There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither bond nor free.
Who got the phone?
I got one.
Go to the blue letter. We're gonna go look up some words and everything.
Okay, let's take you on.
Galatians 3:28. And then go to Galatians 3:28 in the blue letter. Then we're gonna go to Acts 6:1 in the blue letter. Yeah. All right, go ahead. Read that again.
It says, "There is neither Jew nor Greek."
There's neither Jew nor Greek. Now you got Christians who'll say, well, wait a minute. How can the Greeks be Israelites? Because now what you're saying is there's never Israelite or Jew or Jew. No, because we wasn't calling ourselves Jews, right? In fact, you had men of the Bible who were Roman citizens. I believe Paul, right?
Yep.
Right? Go ahead.
It says, "There is neither bond nor free. There is neither male nor female, but ye are all one in YAHAWASHI."
So that goes back to universalism. So now we got to go into the context, which con means with the documents, right? Just like we have a contract. Con always mean with, and then track means agreement.
Right.
So we're gonna go into that. It's neither male or female, Jew or Greek. So now, because of racism and the way people think in black and white, when you think of Jew or Greek, you think of an Israelite and a white man. And now that we're saying we're the biblical Israelites, so now you're thinking of a black Israelite man and a white Greek Jew. So, Salaki, a white Greek. So, in the context of this so-called system, and this man and how he puts it, if all the great people of the Bible were white, as they like to say, it would be like TV. You would have a white Greek and a white Jew.
Right.
You see that?
Right.
A white Greek and a white Jew. This is how they're putting it. But now that we're saying we're the Israelites, this is where the argument comes in. Because now, when you think of Greek, people are saying that's automatically thinking of white. But wait a minute. When I was young, when I thought of Jew, I thought of automatically white. So we can't say it's a skin color thing. Right, go ahead. Oh, that's it. Yeah, go look up the word Greek in there.
All right, this is Greek. Okay, it says Helen or Helene.
Yep.
Okay, a Greek either by nationality, whether a native of the mainland or of the Greek islands or colonies. And second one, in a wider sense, the name embraces all nations, not Jews. All right, that made the language, customs. All right, customs and learning of the Greeks their own.
Right. So why did it say there's neither Jew nor Greek? Why didn't it say it's either Jew or this, a Jew or that, or Jew or somebody else? Read that definition again.
In a wider sense, the name embraces all nations, not Jews, that made the language, customs,
right?
All right, and learning of the Greeks their own.
Right.
The primary
go ahead.
The primary reference is to a difference of religion and worship.
That's the primary reference. They broke it down right there.
That's what it was.
It was the difference of religion and worship.
Yep.
If you scroll on down, you might get the definite. They have more references on it. Let me see.
It might be down here.
Yeah, you can read more on it.
This is all that's here.
On a computer, you can get more on it. But they give you references of other like other scriptures that kind of connect with that.
Yeah, they sure, he sure do.
Yeah. So what happened was, if you took a census today and said, "Who are you?" and they had a census of Black, Hispanic, Native Americans, 2/3 of our people will say, "I'm Black, I'm Hispanic, I'm Native American, well, I'm something else." Even Israelites who look white will say, "I'm Caucasian." So that was like a census. You would have people who say Israelites who would not make the Greek their tongue. And you had Israelites who made the Greek their tongue. Right?
Moses the Egyptian.
Yep. We're going to go to Acts. Did you see anything else on there? We're going to get to that point in a second.
Yeah, there's quite a few references here. Quite a few.
It's a reading on there. I just don't have it on the phone. But that's all right. We're not going to go there.
Okay.
It's like, let me see. It's like,
it's other scriptures there.
Now I want to go to the scriptures. See the Greek concordance, the lexicon.
Oh, you talking about them down here?
Yeah. And it says show the Greek, the Thyres lexicon, and it say right here, a Greek by nationality, mainland, islands, and colonies. Okay. Right. It says are opposed to Jews. The primary reference is to the differences of religion and worship. So a precept here, this is what I wanted to get, these precepts. Okay. Get Acts 7:35 and Acts 11 and 30. I think it's 11 and 30, you see? 11 and 20. Get John 7:35 first.
Now I did see that on the one below, 7:35. I was looking at that.
But that's going through the lexicon and everything.
Right.
So we get more understanding what is being said here. You got it real quick?
Yeah, John
7:35.
God, right. This is John 7:35. It says, "Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles?"
The dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles. So who's the dispersed amongst the Gentiles? Get 1 Corinthians 12 and 1.
I actually got that here.
Okay, you read that real quick.
Yeah.
And we'll Acts 11:20.
I also got that too.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to get that. 1 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 1. It says, "Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. Ye know that ye were Gentiles,
right,
carried away unto dumb idols."
So this proves that the Israelites can be Gentiles. Christians are now admitting that when we pull that scripture. They can't deny that.
Right.
But the problem is when they go to Greek, you got it when it says Jew or Greek, male or female, you're all one in Christ, Jesus, which we don't like saying that name. Yeah. You had Israelites who wouldn't accept being, who would only accept being Greek.
Right.
That's what that's going into. Acts 11 and 20. Read that.
This is Acts 11 and 20.
And get Acts 6 and 1 in the blue letter.
Yeah, I was just looking at it.
It says, and some of them were men of Cyprus and Cyrene, which when they were come to Antioch, spake unto the Grecians, preaching the Lord YAHAWASHI.
Now go to Acts 11 20 in there, since he said speaking to the Grecians.
Okay.
And this is going to kind of sum it up.
Right.
Acts 11 and 20. Read that again.
It says, and some of them were men of Cyprus and Cyrene, which when they were come to Antioch, spake unto the Grecians, right? The Grecians preaching the Lord YAHAWASHI.
So then you will have people say, well, wait a minute. It's to the Grecians, the Greeks, the Grecians. So let's look up the word Grecian in the blue letter.
This is Grecian. Hellenistus.
Right.
Remember, the other one was Hellene, now it's Hellenistus.
Yeah, because you had Jews, Israelites who did not want to accept being an Israelite, who would only accept being Greek.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, one says a Hellenist, all right, or Hellene, still the same thing, right? It says one who imitates the manners of and customs or the worship of the Greeks. So there's a difference. Really, it is a little difference between a Hellene and a Hellenistus. The Hellene was Israelites, Jews who did not want to accept being Israelites. That's why John 7:35 says, "So we go and teach the dispersed amongst the other Israelites, the Gentiles that are amongst the Gentiles." So we go teach the Gentiles amongst the Gentiles. That's what that was going into. Go ahead. Read that again. It says, one who imitates the manners and customs or the worship of the Greeks and use the Greek tongue. Right. See that? There's Israelites that use the Greek tongue. Oh, here's another one. Used in the, let's say, NT of Jews born. Used in the New Testament. Oh, NT, New Testament. Right. Okay, yeah, see, used in the New Testament of Jews born in foreign lands and speaking Greek. There you go. There you go. So it's definitely the point that Greeks, the Greeks, you did have Greeks, the white man Greeks, Edomites. You sure did. But then even they stole a lot of the stuff from other people, like the Romulus, the Romans. They were really just Edom. The original Romans was not Edomites. They adopted practices like the Egyptians. The Greeks went down into Egypt and called themselves Egyptians. Right? So they would, that's why he said Jew or Greek, but you had Greeks down in Egypt. You had Israelites in Egypt. So you even had Israelites practicing Egyptian customs. So when you do a census on that, you would have Israelites that say, I ain't no Israelite, I'm an Egyptian. Just like you see today with that man with that string out his head, Shaka Mos. You know, those guys, and Brother Polite, the Nawapian, those guys are all heathens, really. They are. They're really heathens.
That woman that came up said she was an Egyptian princess.
There's a couple of them. They all do that. But she laid with some man
who was an Egyptian,
who claimed to be an Egyptian and said she was an Egyptian princess. So that's how it goes. You can't go on because it say Greek, because you had other people, other nations even practicing the Greek. You had even Egyptians calling themselves Greeks. Right? Whoever's in power, when every time somebody comes to America, they call themselves an American citizen, officially, right? I'm from Jamaica, but I'm a Jamaican American. I'm from Europe, I'm a European American. Everybody wants to be American, right? So you can't You can't really get around that. Get Acts, what is that? 13 and 5. Try that. I believe it's Acts. So you really, you really can't get it. You really can't get around that. I think it's 13 and 5.
It says that when they were at Salamis.
Oh, it ain't that.
They preached the word God in the synagogue.
Yeah, read that.
No, this is Acts 13 and 5. It says, and when they were at Salamis, they preached the word of Yahawah in the synagogues of the Jews. And they had also
At the synagogue of the Jews. Go ahead.
Yep. And they had also John to their minister. And when they had gone through the aisle to Paphos, they found a certain sorcerer, a false prophet, a Jew, whose name was Bar Jesus, which was with the deputy of the country.
Let me see if I can find it in my book.
What is it?
Let me find it. Okay. Keep reading. It might pop up. Try 13 and 13.
13 and 13. It's verse 13. It says, now when Paul and his company loosed from Paphos, they came to Persia and Pamphylia, and John departed from them, returned to Jerusalem. That was it.
No, that wasn't it. I'll find it. I think it's in Acts 19.
Is it still going into like the Grecian and everything?
Similar.
Okay.
Acts 19.
Yeah, 13.
It says, then certain, this is Acts 19 and 13, then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them, which had evil spirits, the name of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, saying, we adjure you by YAHAWASHI, whom Paul preacheth.
All right, go to 13 again. It's 13 and 16.
I was just looking at 17. Yeah, I see what you wanted.
Yeah, I didn't go far enough.
Okay.
Yep. I know it's in the 13th chapter.
Yep, that's exactly what you wanted. But I was looking at 17.
Go to 15.
13 and 15.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, this is verse 15. It says, and after the reading of the law and the prophets, the rulers of the synagogue sent unto them, saying, ye men and brethren, if ye have any word of exhortation for the people, say on. That's says, then Paul stood up and beckoning with his hand, said, men of Israel, and ye that fear Yahawah give audience, and the God of this people of Israel choose our fathers, and exalted the people when they dwelt as strangers in the land of Egypt.
Yeah, so he was talking to the Israelites. That's the same thing now. You can even have a bunch of heathens standing around, and you would have to call out men of Israel. Give audience, which means to listen. Right?
Yep. It says, and with an high arm brought he them out of it.
Yep.
You want verse 18?
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, and about the time of 40 years suffered he there men young madness in the wilderness. And when he had destroyed 7 nations in the land of Canaan, or Canaan, he divided their land to them by a lot.
Okay,
That
that's
was
pretty
pretty much.
All right, so go to 16 again and read that again.
16.
Yeah.
Chapter 16?
No, 13 to 16.
Oh.
Acts 13 to 16.
This is Acts 13 and 16. Then Paul stood up and beckoned with his hand, said, Men of Israel, and ye that fear Yahawah, give audience.
Yeah, so that's the point. He stood up and beckoned with his hand in the air and said, Men of Israel. Why did he say men of everybody? All right, you got something on one?
No, not yet.
Men of Esau, men of men of all these different nations, the heathens,
Right.
the men of Israel.
So get Acts 5 and 29. Well, I'm looking for something else, but yeah. There's another one I had in Acts, but yeah. But anyway, that Grecian is Hellene and Hellenistis, which is Grecian. So that proves that Greeks could be Israelites.
Yeah.
Right?
This is Acts 5 and 29.
Go to 28.
28. It says, saying, did not we straightly command you that ye should not teach in this name? And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and it intend to bring this man's blood upon us. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey Yahawah rather than men.
Yeah, so while we teach what we teach, we ought to obey what the Most High said. That whether than men, what men say. I can't follow that shit with Christianity. You lied to us about the white Jesus in general.
Yep.
In fact, when the older heads, when we was in the churches, nobody came up to me and said, "Well, son, we don't really recognize him as being white. He's all colors."
Yep.
They never said that shit.
Right.
They let me the whole time believe that this Jesus was a so-called white man.
Yeah, if it was all colors, why the fuck he look white on the wall?
Right. And then they had us in Sunday vacation Bible school, right? They had this little plastic, they had a plastic mold, and you pour the liquid in there, you stir it to make a liquid, and you pour it in there until it hardened up in like art class. Then when it hardens up, you turn it over and pop it out, and you can see the white Jesus on there. I was like, God damn, man. You've been lying to us, man.
They had jump all the way.
Yeah, they really did. Then I was at home and we had to draw the picture of Jesus and shit.
The coloring books.
Yeah, and I didn't even trace it. I was a good artist. And my mother didn't even, my foster mother, she didn't even believe I really drew the picture.
Yeah.
But I drew him and they had him floating with the sandals on and shit. And a little bandana around his head and shit. And then his fucking feet hanging and with the clouds behind him. That's what they did. Nobody said, but then we show the black Jesus. It doesn't matter now what color he is. He's all colors now.
Oh, man.
And it'd be our people doing that madness.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter now. He's all colors. You want them Chinese, you're Chinese. Okay, so why didn't they put, which they did put the white Jesus in everybody's culture.
Mm-hmm.
So why didn't they introduce a black Jesus for us?
No, they sure didn't.
The Gooks, the Chinese,
They got their own thing.
they can have Buddha up and stuff like that.
They got their own thing.
But even in West Africa, they got their white Jesus, right? Even when we was off, we still had our own so-called gods. You know, those people in the Holy Land don't got no white Jesus up in there. Nope. They don't even believe in that. They go Christmas time, or they don't. The people who run the world don't even believe in it, but they'll make us believe in it, right, and follow it, even though they don't believe in it.
And that Thanksgiving bullshit, man, and Christmas, December. What is Christmas? December 25th, something like that.
25th.
See, one major thing, that You know how you know that that's bullshit. The whole thing, you know, the history and everything. But one major thing, December wasn't the month.
November or December.
November or December wasn't even months. By the time Christmas and Thanksgiving were even founded, man.
That time zone came after the winter solstice.
And they say that's Jesus' birthday.
We might do a video on that later.
Yeah, later on.
We go through it every year.
Yeah, yep.
But that's the most wickedest holiday, if you ask me. Because even when Halloween is wicked, but Christmas is even wickeder, more wicked. Because number one, you look at the word Xmas, you're crossing out YAHAWASHI, right? You changed the name. You said it was all about the baby in the manger and all that stuff. You're using the Messiah.
Yep.
For everybody to bring it. You straight lied and you know you devil worshiping. Yep. That go back to the winter solstice. That go back to Semiramis, the Queen of Heaven. So what makes it more wicked is the fact that at least Halloween they let you know, hey, this is Satan worship.
Yep, the evil old saints.
Right, but here the Satan is transforming himself to an angel of light. You know, as the scripture says, he's blinded the minds of them that believe not. You know?
Yep.
Now, when you go to Tobit in the Bible, in Apocrypha 13:3, it says, we're dispersed amongst the strangers as well.
Yep.
You know, amongst the Gentiles. So this just proves that you can't get around it, man. The Israelites, the Bible was only for the Israelites.
Yep. I got one here.
Yeah, you can also in the blue letter you can get Acts 3:25. If you got one, go ahead and get that real quick.
Yeah, come on. You said Acts 3:25.
Yep.
Okay.
So now we're breaking the scripture says we're breaking those strongholds, man. The sickness doctrines. You know, this is why nobody through the Spirit of the Lord can come up and confound us, man.
Right. You know, we do something that most people in the world don't do, is go in the words, man. And we have something that most people in the world don't have. We have the Spirit of the Lord, man. YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. All right. We know what we doing when we go out there. We know what we doing when we say these lessons in these videos. All right. You gotta know what you're doing when you come into this thing, man.
Hey, got them guys walk up to us. Yeah, because you found them.
Yeah, man. Like we don't know what the hell we're talking about. We get up Saturday morning. We could be doing anything else on the Saturday, man. But we decide to get a wooden sign, stand out there Saturday morning with Bibles, you know, and garments on it. We don't know what the hell we're talking about, right? Just in public, in the middle of in the harbor, right?
Yeah.
Where a whole bunch of people is, right? And we don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah.
We ain't standing on in the 695, man. You know, where there's nobody out there, man.
Cars flying by.
Cars flying by and ain't nobody stopping. No, we at where people walk at, man. And you gonna tell me that you gonna come up to us and believe that we don't know what we talking about? You know, get the hell out of here, man. All right. Acts chapter 3, verse 25. That's what you want, right? 3:25. All right. It says, "Ye are the children of the prophets, and of the covenant which the Most High made with our fathers, saying unto Abraham, and in thy seed, all right, shall all the kindreds, all right, of the earth be blessed."
Wait a minute. That said, all the kindreds of the earth shall be blessed. Look up the word kindreds in the blue letter.
Right.
That precept in Genesis 12:3, it says, and in Abraham's seed all the kindreds of all the families of the earth shall be blessed. They don't know the precepts. They don't know the scriptures.
Romans 9:3.
Yep.
My brother, my kinsman.
Yep. According to the flesh. Yep.
Right. Now, in here it says patria. Okay.
Yep.
Patria. This is kindred. Lineage running back to some progenitor and ancestry. All right.
Ancestry. That's telling you.
Yep.
I ain't talking about everybody. Go ahead.
A nation or tribe.
Go ahead.
Okay. A group of families. All those who in given people laid claim to a common origin. Oh boy. This ain't looking good for you people out there, man. It says the Israelites, distributed into 12 tribes, descended from the 12 sons of Jacob. These were divided into families, which were divided into houses.
There you go. Right. That's it. The Israelites scattered abroad. We see this in James 1:1. The Israelites to the 12 tribes of the Israel scattered abroad. Get Acts 17:25. Acts 17:25.
Yeah. To me, man, it seems like the people out there that be trying to debunk the Israelites, man, y'all need.
It's not looking good.
Y'all need to put that on the Bible, man.
Major fail.
And Vocab called himself trying to go in Romans 11. That was a cut. That was a cut on himself. Why the hell would you go in there if you're trying to debunk the Israelites? Why would you go there?
I didn't see it, but that wasn't a good move.
That was not a good move at all.
But you know, the Lord made him do that.
Yep.
Stepped in the lines, man.
This was like last year I saw him going there.
He can't stop what's happening, man. He just can't stop it. It's what it is. Can't stop it, buddy. Acts 17:25. Go ahead.
This is Acts 17:25. It's worship.
There's more scriptures on this. We can go on for 2 hours, man. Go ahead.
Like this.
Yeah.
It says, neither is worship with men's hands, as though he needed anything, seeing he giveth to all life and breathe in all things. Right? And hath made of one blood all nations of men.
He made one blood, all nations of men. One blood. Go ahead.
But to dwell on all the face of the earth.
Right.
And have to determine the times before appointed.
Right.
And the bounds of their habitation. Right? That they should seek the Lord, if haply they might feel after him and find him, though he be not far from every one of us.
Okay.
But in him we live and move. And at
talking about Israelites, what verse you want?
28.
Go ahead, read that.
And have our being as certain also of our own poets have said, but we are also his offspring. For as much then as we are the offspring of Yahawah.
Yep. That was it.
For the more. We ought not to think that the Godhead is like unto gold or silver or stone, graven by art and man's device. That was pretty much it.
Now go to Deuteronomy 32:8. This is the reference to that. Deuteronomy 32:8. So sometimes you'll read in the New Testament and it's not like, oh man, oh, blood of all kind, mankind. That's the universalism. When clearly the Bible never spoke of, only universalism is amongst the Israelites. The reason why unity means one. Right. We were scattered, like Deuteronomy 28:64 says. Right. Go ahead, read that. Deuteronomy 32:8.
This is Deuteronomy 32:8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance.
Right. When
he separated the sons of Adam.
Right. This is what Paul was saying in Acts.
Right.
This is the same thing. Go ahead.
He set the bound of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. Plain and simple, right?
Plain and simple.
Yep, for the Lord's portion is his people.
Right.
Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. He found him in a desert land, and in the waste, howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye. As an eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings.
Now go back to Acts 21:39.
So I got
well, all right, we try to get all of it out if we can.
Yep.
We can't sit here and read the whole Bible.
well, 21.
39, yeah.
You'll get a whole class, that's for sure.
Yeah, we'd be here for a little while doing that. 139, go ahead.
This is Acts 21 and 39. But Paul said, I am a man which am a Jew of Tarsus, a city in Cilicia. It almost like Sicilia, but
Okay, go ahead.
a citizen of no mean city. And I beseech thee, suffer me to speak unto the people. And when he had given him license, Paul stood on the stairs and beckoned with the hand unto the people.
Here we go, back in his hand. Go ahead.
Yep. And when there was made a great silence, he spake unto them in the Hebrew tongue, saying, Men, brethren, and fathers, hear ye my defense, which I make now unto you. And when they heard that he spake in the Hebrew tongue to them, they kept more silence. And he said,
He spoke in a Hebrew tongue. Go ahead.
Yep. I am verily a man which am a Jew, born in Tarsus, the city is Cilicia.
But read that part again.
I am verily a man which am a Jew.
He said, earlier, the man which is a Jew. Go ahead.
Born in Tarsus, a city in Cilicia, yet brought up in this city at the feet of Gamaliel. Yep. And taught according to the perfect manner of the law of the fathers, and was zealous toward Yahawah, as ye all are this day.
So you see that we were people that lost it all, and we're trying to bring back to our heritage.
Yep.
That's what it boils down to. So yes, Deuteronomy 28:64 said we were scattered amongst all people.
Yep.
From one end of the earth, even to another. Get Isaiah 1 and 9 real quick. We were scattered among all people from one end of the earth into the other, and we shall serve other gods.
Yep.
So we were serving Santa Claus, the Easter bunnies.
Yep. And we after you get that this goes into what you just said. Yep.
We were serving the rock.
Yep.
The Muslim rock. Right? They let us serve everything else except, wait a minute, there's no synagogues in the hood. They didn't want us to do that though. You notice that shit? No, we can't have these people. We have to be the people. That tells you, if they knew they were the true people of the Bible, they would have set it up where the graft, the people, the righteous people of that nation to come back, and it would make the world, that land, follow that belief. There is no way in the kingdom of heaven you're going to have Christians.
No.
I'm talking about plantation. Yeah. We're not going to have Islam and shit going on. Come on.
It's going to be one.
So what they did is they said, we're going to separate ourselves and make them follow this shit, feed it to them, and make them so they're so upset that we're the people of the Bible.
Yep.
And that's just giving them trouble. Read that.
Having us serve, other gods and their holidays is us serving, them.
Yep.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Given to a beast like that. This is Isaiah 1 and 9. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. Hear the word of the Lord, ye rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of our God, ye people of Gomorrah.
Yeah, so wait a minute. That's talking about Israelites of Sodom and Gomorrah. Right. Proving the Israelites was called Sodom and Gomorrah.
Can't get over that, man.
One more real quick, Leviticus 25 and 35. You can read yours if you want.
Okay. Yeah. Real quick. There's a couple verses I'm gonna get out of the way. Ezekiel chapter 39, verse 21.
And I will set my glory among the heathen, all right? And all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them. So the house of Israel shall know that I am the Lord, their power, all right, from that day forward. And the heathen shall know shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, all right, because they trespassed, all right, they trespassed against me, all right. Therefore, hid I um, hid I my face from them. It says, and gave them into the hand of their enemies, so they fell by the sword. All right. Now going on, because it's talking about the heathen, right? I'm going to jump down a little bit. Let's see, verse 25. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahawah, right now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob, and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous for my holy name. All right. So it said all the heathen, they're going to know, they're going to see the judgment, you know, that the Lord pushed out. All right. You get people that say, well, damn, what about the heathen? Well, we're going to this is a scripture that talks about the other nations, since you people are always so concerned about them, all right, instead of your own. All right, the other nations, they're going to know that Israel were the heads of them, over them, man. Yes, the whole world is going to follow, all right, the Lord's world order, pretty much, man. Okay, it's got to happen. Like you said, in the kingdom, you're not going to have all these different religions and all these different opinions and stuff like that. No, it's not going to happen. All right. So what about all the heathen? Well, all the heathen is going to know. They just said what? All the heathen is going to know that, you know, the Lord is the one that put them into captivity. And further down, it said they want to know that the Lord sold them into their enemies because of their transgressions, man. Right? Because they trespass against the Lord. All nations are going to know that, man. All heathens are going to know that, and all heathens are going to follow suit. All right. The Lord set up Israel over all other nations of the planet, man. That's it. Right? Right. So you want to know about the other nations? That's what's going to happen with all the other nations. All right? Whether you like it or not, man, because at the end all be all, you won't like it any damn way. All right? Because you're going to realize that you're in peace. As of right now, whatever, man.
Yep.
Right. It's order. It has to be established.
Mm-hmm.
Right. When it's written, it's written. Kind of already is established, for what's going to happen. It's already written. It's the words of more YAHAWASHI. He's not the author of confusion. So he ain't just going to, just ball up, just throw it away, start everything, just forget about it. When it said it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Yep. That's Isaiah 55.
You want Leviticus
25, I believe.
25, 35.
35. 25, 35.
This is Leviticus 25, 35. And if thy brother be waxing poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him. Yeah, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. Take thou no usury of him.
Yeah.
Or
although he be a stranger, right?
Yep. A stranger or a sojourner.
What do you mean, Leviticus what?
25, 35.
Go to 1934 real quick. And I'll quote 1 Peter 1 and 1. Okay.
1934.
Yeah.
This is Leviticus 19 and 34. Oh, yeah. Oh, it says, but the stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one born among you. And thou shalt love him as thyself. But ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Right? So we were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Right, we were strangers unto the Lord. What do you got in 2 Peter?
Oh, you want 2 Peter?
What that called?
I think you said 1 Peter.
1 Peter 1:1.
1:1. Okay, that's what you want.
Yeah.
All right, let's put 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 1. Okay, it says, Peter, an apostle of YAHAWASHI, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, uh, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bethania. Elect, verse 2, it says, elect according to the foreknowledge of God the Father, or Yahweh the Father. Right? It says, through sanctification of the Spirit unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of YAHAWASHI. All right. Grace unto you and peace be multiplied. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord YAHAWASHI. All right. Which according to his abundant mercy have begotten us again unto a lively hope by the resurrection of YAHAWASHI from the dead, to an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you, who are kept by the power of Yahweh through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time.
So this is a beautiful time for us right now.
It is. It really is.
To know that when we look up to see those chariots, we believe over our house.
Yeah.
And brother, I believe there's chariots that brothers and some you sisters can't see. They're there. You just can't see them. They're in and out of dimensions or whatever you want to call it.
You know what's crazy? You know, you might have like a state of dimensions are so crazy, man. You might have a state-sized chariot in your household, in your house. Yeah. That's the dimensions are crazy like that. You know, like it's crazy because they can appear they in and out of dimensions. It's crazy like that, man.
Spirits.
There's spirits. You got spirits flowing all around you, man. Angels, demons, whatever, man.
Down there, like here, Russia and Ukraine, the quarter, the massive chariot.
Yeah,
Like city size.
Yeah, it was flashing, man. It was kind of scary looking.
It was rotating. You know, it was just massive.
Yeah, because you got everything is made up of the atmosphere. The atmosphere comes from atoms. So everything is made up of atoms, including us. When you deal with, you have the celestial bodies, and then you have terrestrial bodies, right? Terrestrial bodies are earthly bodies. Celestial of spiritual bodies. So when the Lord gives us that power, we're going to have a mixture of celestial and terrestrial. Let me say extraterrestrial. All right, so we're going to have that power, you know. And it's rightly so. Amalekites, Dumians, you have got to go, man. Everything is on the earth is messed up because of you. You've destroyed it all. And now you're destroying people. Well, no, you were destroying people, and now you're destroying the earth. Or you're destroying the earth, and then you're destroying people.
If they're not stopped, then there's nothing else to save. You know, there would be nothing else to save. This man is just going to destroy the earth.
He's got to go. Get Daniel 7:18. He has to go, man. There's nothing else left but for this man to go down. He's got to get taken out of power. This is too much. And you know, was it Marcus Aurelius or one of them said, you know, a nation is taken down by that woman, the way that woman behaved. There's a woman that came, young lady, came up through the camp with a mama let her dress in tight pants and said, I love it here.
Yep, she sure did. And every last one of them agreed. What was 12?
What?
Sloppy. Daniel
7:18.
Fine. Got it. This is Daniel 7:18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
Like the Most High is not going to just say, here you go, here's the kingdom. He's going to let he's going to let us take that kingdom. And how we going to, we're starting to take it now.
This is the start of it.
The kingdom of heaven starts within you.
Yep.
And now this is where our faith has to be elevated even higher.
Yeah, that's true.
So now Satan's gonna come in and they talking shit again. It's gonna go back to normal again. It's gonna be all good. Everything's gonna be all right. You know, that's what people are, you know, because it's an up and down thing.
Everybody's guard is let down.
Everybody's losing faith. And the Lord is doing it.
Remember when we were saying that when this whole thing was kicking off and everything was shutting down, and you saw all these videos coming up. See, this is crazy, man. Look at that military, you know, the military convoys and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, everybody was spiritual, right? So I remember we all were saying that. It's like, you know, the Lord has a crazy way of doing things. You know, things go back to normal. More people lose faith because He wants to see, you know, He already know, but we're going to see, you know, whose faith is going to remain, man. You know, everybody back in school, jobs open back up. You know,
Even in the truth.
even in the truth. That's what I'm saying.
What sacrifice are you going to make for the truth?
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta make a sacrifice for
Yeah.
the truth too.
Yep.
You might have to sacrifice your own family, your job, or whatever else.
Right.
For the truth.
Yep. And you know, because people are, you know, kind of, you know, they kind of get a little overly specific. No, when we say sacrifice family, we're not talking about killing.
No.
You know.
Well, we're not saying to curse out your mama or anything like that.
But you know, to
It's
pretty much put them off for the Lord, man.
present what the scripture says, present your body as a living sacrifice.
Right.
Go ahead. Is that it? The saints of the Most High. Oh, get First Chronicles 17:9 real quick. The saints of the Most High should take the kingdom. So, if those people were the people of the Bible, the world would be at peace. First of all, if they were the people of the Bible, they'd be in opposition.
They would be.
Right?
Yep.
But the Lord hadn't come to deliver them. Go ahead, read that.
This is First Chronicles 17:9. Also, I will ordain a place for my people, and I will plant them, and they shall dwell in their place.
So that proves that we don't flee and fly on planes to go anywhere, man. I think that guy Ron Dalton is saying that we got to ship ourselves back to Africa. Go ahead.
It says, and they shall dwell in their place, and shall be moved no more. Neither shall the children of wickedness waste them any more, as at the beginning. And since the time that I commanded judges to be over my people Israel.
Yeah, so if those people were planted there by the Lord, nobody would be wasting them. And the earth would be under the governing authority.
And so it would be.
The right way.
Yep.
That's it on that.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it on that. So, you know, bottom line is salvation is not for everybody. The salvation is what John 4:22 said. You know, go get that real quick, John 4:22. I don't know if you told it.
No, not what I was.
I don't know how long you want to go.
Well, that's up to you know. I think you've been on for like hours, you know. 2 hours.
Yeah.
John 4:22. Got it. This is John 4:22.
This is going at the woman at the well. There was a heathen, by the way. And how do we know this woman was a heathen? Go ahead.
Yep, it says, you worship, Salaki, you worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship. For salvation is of the Jews.
Right. Go ahead.
But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
So I'm gonna just shorten the story and go into it a little bit. This woman who was I forgot the nationality, but the woman at the well.
Yeah.
She came to the well and she YAHAWASHI told her, she even told her she had 5 husbands or something like that. And she went back and told the other men basically, go further up and see, go into that a little bit. Let me see if I can find it. John 4. Go to 4 and like 20. I just wanted to show, I know the whole story, but I wanted to make sure with the points are accurate at where this happened and all that stuff.
4, 20.
Yeah.
This is verse 20. It says, our fathers worship in this mountain. And ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. And Yahushua said unto her, woman, believe me, the hour cometh when you shall neither in this mountain, nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father.
Yeah, he said that.
Yep. You worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him.
Right.
Verse 24. Yahawah is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
Now, the Sumerian woman thing. It says right here, I'm just going back for
Okay.
that saith the woman of the Samaria to him, how is it that thou being a Jew askest me to drink? And the woman of Samaria, for the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. So anyway, when she went back, she told them, you had Israelites in that land, right? She went back and told them, I found the Christ, or the Savior.
Right.
And they said, let me see for myself.
Right.
So they came and they dealt with Yahawashi dealt with them. Let me say that, supped with them. And she said, see, I told you this was the Messiah. And the men said, we don't believe it because you said it. We only believe it because we've seen it with our own eyes. So there's a lot of Israelites, fake Israelites, who would say that was the woman giving a testimony. When we say a woman can't give a testimony.
Right. Right.
She did not give a testimony because it wasn't even authenticated. That's why they went.
Yep. And
then they believed. And you got to show me one time in that chapter that Yahawashi said, repent, woman, and be healed.
Because usually if that was an Israelite, he told all Israelites that.
Told them repent.
Yep.
And then heal them.
Yep.
I read it. I don't know about y'all, but I didn't see it in there. Yep. So we go.
That was it.
That was it, yeah. All right, unless y'all had anything else.
No, I didn't have that. No. Yeah. So I guess you want to, when you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the other was saying, man, bottom line is, salvation is only for Israelites. And you can't get no plainer than that, man.
Yeah, you go to Luke 168, it says,
Yep.
Blessed be the power of Israel.
Yep.
For he had visited and redeemed his people.
Yep. His people, man.
It's all about his people. Our salvation is at hand. That's why it says, go ye baptize, teach all nations that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Why I say all nations? Deuteronomy 28:64, Revelation 7:9, Acts 3:25. We were scattered amongst all nations.
Yep.
Teaching the kingdom of heaven is at hand. But then when you go further back to the 25th chapter, it said he shall gather all nations and separate them one from another. So we can see that the nations can get conflicting what is according to the text.
Right. And the Lord allowed that, throwing stumbling blocks, because if it was just all plain and simple, everybody, and it was meant for everybody to get, then he would have made it for everybody to get.
Right.
He allowed his words to be pretty much, the Lord is the one that twisted up. You could say he so-called twisted up his own words on purpose, man.
Yeah.
They're throwing stumbling blocks to say that Jew, Greek, Gentile, or whatever. The Lord allowed that in there
because he didn't want everybody to get it. There would be no elect if everybody can get it.
Yeah, he even wanted us to stay asleep.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why when they asked, why are you speaking to them in parables? They said, because it is for you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven.
Yep.
To them, it is not given.
Right. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, man.
Yep.
Giving all praise, honor, and glory to
YAHAWAH,
YAHAWAH. And of course, once again, double honor to the apostles and the elders, and great notes on it, and sincere shalom to the occupants out there pushing the sincerity and truth and the sound doctrine. All right, shalom.
Shalom.